You will defeat your enemies. Your enemies could be death. Your enemies could be anger. Your enemies could be witches, warlocks. Your enemies could even be family members. Your enemies could be addictions, enemies of progress, destiny killers. But you are going to defeat them all. They will not put you to the graveyard. They will not destroy your life. You are going to come out victorious. Now, when you look at Joseph, his enemies, though they were his family, but his enemies were his family. His brothers, when they heard of his dream, when they heard of how great Joseph's dream was, they plotted for his death. They wanted to abort the dream. They wanted to kill the dreamer. That when they saw Joseph from afar, they said, "There comes a dreamer." So they plotted to put him in a pit. But my God, God had plans for him. Though they had plans to destroy him, though they meant evil for him, God meant good for him. So for those that have not yet read the story, is that Joseph is sold to Egypt, and Egypt was his place of destiny. Though it was a harsh place, though it was not a desirable place to be in, Joseph was redeemed in Egypt in the way that in Egypt he started walking into the right way. Though he also in Egypt he faced some problems, like Potiphar's wife, who accused him of trying to sleep with her. But he did not stop Joseph from there. He rose up and he was promoted. That even when the whole world was in famine, even when the whole world had drought, Egypt was preserved. Why? Because Joseph was there. You will be preserved. The reason as to why those that are around you are also being preserved is because of you. Some of you are in companies that would have gone down, that would have not faced the economic crisis. But the reason as to why the companies are still standing is because of your obedience to God. Look at Egypt. Egypt was prosperous. When there was a famine in the whole world, Egypt was in plenty because Joseph was in Egypt. The man of God was in Egypt. So you will not die. Your enemies will be destroyed. You will defeat all your enemies. One by one, they will leave. Just as they came, they will leave. They came in one direction, but they are going to leave in 7 directions. Now, today's word is in the book of Deuteronomy 28:7. Deuteronomy 28:7. And it reads, "The Lord will cause your enemies who rise against you to be defeated before your face. They shall come out against you one way and flee before you 7 ways." My God. All your enemies will be defeated. Those that have risen up against you, yes, they shall come against you in one way, meaning that they shall be like a team. They shall coordinate together to destroy you. They shall come against you in numbers, but they are going to flee in 7 ways. They will scatter. They will be confused. They came as a unit, but they are going to go out in division because they will not handle you. You are too hot to be handled. You have a God who's bigger than your enemies. Those that have accused you, they will be disappointed. Well, another scripture that I want to read to you, of course, is in the book of Psalms 18:32-34. Psalms 18:32-34. And it reads, It is God who arms me with strength and makes my way perfect. He makes my feet like the feet of deer and sets me on my high places. He teaches my hands to make war so that my arms can bend a bow of bronze. My God. This is very powerful. There is a lot of revelation in this scripture. That is, scripture says that it is God who arms you with strength. Your strength does not come from drinks that you take. I know there are a lot of companies that have good marketing strategies in the way that they market a product that when you take the product, it will give you strength. But those products will never give you everlasting strength. It is God who gives the strength. In Him you move, live, and have your being. Your strength does not come from how much influence you have or how much connections you have. It does not come from your relatives and family, but it comes from God. Your strength does not come from your immunity, but it comes from God Himself. Look at Samson. His strength came from God. The hair was just a symbol of his strength, but the source of strength was from God. To one extent that it amazed his enemies, the adversaries. They were perplexed. God will give you strength and will make your way perfect. Your way could be crooked, but it's about to be made perfect. Now the scripture says, He makes my feet like the feet of a deer and sets me on my high places. This is powerful. Some of you have been displaced, but the scripture says God sets you on your high places. You have your own high places, not somebody else's position, not somebody else's high places, but God will set you on your high places. My God, I pray that God sets you on your high places, in areas where you have been displaced, in areas where you have been put down. You'll be brought back, restored back to your own high place. Now, I love what the scripture says. It says that He teaches my hands to make war so that my arms can bend a bow like bronze. My God. God teaches your hands to make war. Just when you think nothing is happening, God is training you. That test that you are going through, it is not just by mistake. It is going to turn out into a testimony. Before there is a testimony, there is a test. So He is teaching your hands to war, so that when the enemy comes in, you will defeat him. You will defeat him because God has trained you. Notice that when you receive training from men, from people, that training will not last. As years pass on by, that training becomes outdated. It's no longer in use. Those techniques that you used to know will no longer work. But the training of God, my God, is everlasting. It is permanent. It will never be outdated. No matter what enemy is coming against you, whether it's a new enemy, it's an old enemy, the same strategy will work. The same word. You speak a word, the enemy will flee. You submit yourself to God, resist the devil, and he will flee. He trains your hands. He teaches your hands to make war. This is powerful. How I wish somebody could understand this message. How I wish somebody, one or two people, could get this message. Well, share this message with somebody else. Let them know of this truth, because the word will deliver them. Well, and until next time, Peace.